All right, we've moved on to K7, which says we are to graph solutions to one-step linear inequalities. So we're going to solve the inequality first and then graph the solution. Now here we have some instructions: plot the endpoints, select an endpoint to change it from closed to open, select the middle of the segment ray or line to delete it. Okay, so we've got our first problem is Q is greater than or equal to 1 plus 7. Well, if we add 1 plus 7, we get 8. So Q, therefore, would be greater than or equal to 8. So we select 8, and then if Q is greater than or equal to, we know the circle has to be closed. And then we just point the arrow in the right direction. So if Q is greater than 8, that means that it needs to go to the right because we're looking for numbers that are larger than 8. Oops. Okay, let's try this again. There we go. All right, our next one is 4z is less than or equal to 8. Well, we're multiplying, so our opposite is to divide by 4 on both sides of the inequality. Therefore, z is less than or equal to 2. So again, we know that we're dealing with a closed circle. We know that we're comparing z to the number 2. And z is all values of less than or equal to 2. Next, we have y is less than or equal to 7 minus 3. Well, y therefore is less than or equal to 7 minus 3 is 4. So we're going to click on 4. Again, we know the circle is closed because we're including the value of 4, and y is all values less than 4. Now we have m divided by 3 is less than 2. As we stated before, if we want to get m alone, in this case we're going to have to multiply by 3 on both sides of the inequality. And I have 3m divided by 3, which is m. And then 2 multiplied by 3 is 6. So m is less than 6. Now notice this time that we have a less than symbol, not less than or equal to. So the circle has to be open. It doesn't include the value of 6. It just says start at 6. So you click twice and then move your arrow in the appropriate direction. Okay, then we have n is less than 9 minus 3. Well, n then is less than 9 minus 3 is 6. We're comparing all values of n to the number 6. We don't include 6, so we have to again open the circle because there's no equal sign under here. And numbers less than 6 would include 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and so forth. And then we're done with that one. Our next one is m minus 2 is greater than or equal to 2. Now we know this one is a closed circle. So we want to isolate m. We're going to do that by adding 2 to both sides of the inequality. So we have m is greater than or equal to 4. Well, let's plot 4. We know it's a closed circle, and we're saying all values of m either equal 4 or are larger than 4. So let's just point our arrow in the same direction as the inequality symbol. Now we have p is greater than 10 minus 9. Well, p then would be greater than 1. This is an open circle because we don't have the equal sign under the inequality symbol. So we're comparing p to 1, and we're saying all values of p are greater than 1. So I'm going to open my circle at 1, and I'm going to point my arrow in the direction of every number that's bigger than 1. All right, let's take a look at this one. We have negative 20 divided by 10 is less than c. Well, what does that look like? You might think of it as this way: 20 divided by 10, or negative 20 divided by 10 is less than c. So just divide those. So negative 20 divided by 10 is negative 2, which is less than c. So we've got -2, which is less than C. So if you look at this differently, you could say C, make sure your arrow's facing the same way, is greater than -2. Or if it's greater than -2, then I'm going to point everything to the right. I forgot to open the circle. I knew the circle was open. I forgot. Okay, well, even teachers make mistakes too. And what are they going to tell me? See, forgot to open the circle. So guys, when you get this, please make sure that you read it. It is there for you. Remember, use inverse operations. Be sure to do the same operation on both sides. Reverse the direction of the inequality symbol when multiplying or dividing by a negative number. These are good points. First, solve, which I did, and I wrote it correctly. I wrote it correctly right here. I just didn't graph it correctly. So now I know what to do. Got it. All right, let's try again. So we've got 3b is greater than or equal to 6. I want b alone, so I'm going to divide by 3 on both sides, and I've got b is greater than or equal to 2. So I'm going to start at 2, make sure my circle is closed, realize that all of the values of b are greater than that or equal to 2. All right, our next one will be h plus 2 is less than -1. If I want h alone, I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides of the inequality. And I've got h is less than, well, these signs are the same, so I'm going to add them together. 1 plus 2 is 3, and keep the sign. So h is less than -3. So there's -3. This time I'm going to remember to open my circle. And I'm going to point for every number that's less than 3, meaning it goes to the left. All right. I think we can do a few more. So this time we've got 1 is less than or equal to r minus 2. And we are simply going to isolate r, so we're going to add 2 to both sides of the inequality. And I've got 1 plus 2 is 3 is less than or equal to r. So remember, if you need to flip it, r is greater than or equal to 3. So we've got 3, the circle is closed, and all the values of 3 are included in everything above it. All right, so we've done this. Go ahead and see what you do. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask in class or come see me. See you on the next video.